And if you have a hard time hearing from God, it will get better the longer you walk with the Lord. And now there's no doubt in my mind. I know now, and this is me talking to myself.
Yeah.
This is the devil putting an idea in my mind. This is the Holy Spirit. You know, when I wrote the first 4 words, it's not about you. Honestly, you guys, I had no idea how many times I was going to be tested on that.
Oh.
For the rest of my life.
Wow.
Sometimes I think I'm tested 50 times a day with that sentence. It's not about you. And if I hear a compliment or a praise, I go, it's not about you. And if I hear a criticism or an unfavorable attack, I go, it's not about you. Okay, this really is, I didn't have any idea. I almost sometimes wish I hadn't put that sentence in because
you've had to
I didn't
live
know
it.
I was going to be tested on it the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
That it really is not about me. It's all about God. And I think the rest of my life I'm going to be working out the implications of that. You know, and just because you write a book doesn't mean you know it all.
Mm-hmm.
I have to learn stuff that is still, and even authors forget what they wrote. And when I wrote this book 20 years ago, and interesting, how it started is it took me 7 months to write this book, 12 hours a day.
Oh,
When
my
I was
goodness.
typing this book, I had no idea that God was going to use it like this. I knew it was anointed, but I didn't know it was going to be a bestseller. I knew it was anointed because a lot of times I'd be typing and tears would be flowing down my face.
my
And I'm going,
goodness.
I am not this good. I can't say this on my own. This is the Holy Spirit here talking through me. And I knew I was being used different than any other book I've ever written or read. And before I wrote Purpose Driven Life, I actually asked, how do you get a book to last 500 years? And I went back and I read stuff like Imitation of Christ, which had been around 500 years, and the Desert Fathers, which had been around 500 years. And I thought, how do you do that? And it was to not try to be contemporary. There are almost no stories in this book, which is the exact opposite what anybody will tell you in writing a book. You got to tell a lot of good stories. The only stories in it are pretty much biblical stories. Moses did this, because those are timeless. And when it came out, I had no idea how God was going to use it. But 20 years later, it's still helping people.
You were pointing out that this month's Vogue magazine.
Selena Gomez is on the cover of Vogue. And in the interview, in the long cover article on Vogue magazine, said she walked down the stairs with a copy of Purpose Driven Life in her hands and her PDL journal, and said, I've read through this book 3 times and it's influenced her life.
Well, and think about it. It had just been written when she was born.
Yeah, that's true.
Around
exactly. So a person who was 2 years old when the book came out is 22 now.
Yeah.
So they probably want to read the book.
Yeah. What a sacrifice. What a seed sown.
Yeah.
All those days, all that time.
It was. It really was putting your head down and focusing. And some of the sweetest days of my communion with the Lord, I've walked with the Lord now for over 50 years. And I can hear his voice. And I want to just say this to people who say, I have a hard time hearing from God. It'll get better. Yeah. Okay? It will get better. When my wife calls, we've been married 45 years. She doesn't have to say, this is Kay, your wife. Okay? She can breathe.
Good
she can breathe. She goes, and I know it's her. Okay? She doesn't ever have to, my grandkids don't have to say, Daddy, this is Josh.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? Why? I've walked with them so long, I know their tone. Okay? And if you have a hard time hearing from God, it will get better the longer you walk with the Lord. And now there's no doubt in my mind. I know now, and this is me talking to myself.
Yeah.
This is the devil putting an idea in my mind. This is the Holy Spirit. You know that.
At TBN, our mission is to use every available means to reach as many individuals and families as possible with the life-changing gospel of Jesus Christ.
Thank you for helping make the gospel of grace go around the world.
Without you, we couldn't do it. God bless you.